good evening, and welcome to A Sprinkle of This. Today on A Sprinkle of This, it is Film Fan Friday. Yes. One of my favorite days. Today we will be discussing The Godfather. So, be a good godson. Take a seat. Now that that's over, I can get back to my regular voice. I swear I've been practicing my Italian accent ever since I've seen this movie. Alright, so me personally, I've always been a fan of mob movies, but I never really wanted to sit down and watch The Godfather because I'm like, this movie is just way too long. And then I grew up and I realized if I can binge on Netflix all day, I can watch this movie. The Godfather Part 1 is 3 hours long. The Godfather Part 2 is 3 hours long. And the third one, I believe, is 3 hours long. 9 hours. But you can finish that in a day. And how good this movie is, I wanted to finish it all in a day, but I'm like, I need time. I need time to process everything that I've seen. Like, I already knew of some characters and, a lot of movies that came out later on sampled from The Godfather. Like, I'll give you one. You ever seen The Nutty Professor 2? For people who've seen it, yes. Okay, I'm talking to you. Remember when they were in the theater and this man was just being, it was Eddie Murphy, the skinny version, being all loud, obnoxious, laughing, ha ha ha, at the screen. And then Janet Jackson and the bigger Eddie Murphy are on a date, and he's like, "Hey, can you sit down in the front, man? We're trying to watch the movie." Then he turned around with a cigar, like, "Hey, I'm back," basically. But that scene of somebody standing up in front of you, trying to tell them to sit down, but you're really scared of how big they are, that came from The Godfather Part 2. So yeah, getting into it. The Godfather came out in 1972. Well, Part 1 did, and then Part 2 came out in 1974. Then they waited a little while and they had Part 3 that came out in the 90s. I still haven't looked at that one yet because I'm still trying to get over my fanatic phase of Godfather Part 1 and 2. So a lot of memorable faces that I knew about in other mob movies like, Casino and Goodfellas, were in this movie. A few faces. Freaking Robert De Niro, who just had a birthday recently. I love him. Because you're talking to me? No, you're not talking to me. Are you talking to me? Anyways, Robert De Niro was in this movie. Robert Duvall. Al Pacino. I didn't even know that this was his first movie. To my knowledge, it was his first movie. But everybody knows him from being a legend in, what's it called? Scarface. But I'm like, something about this movie, Scarface, just feel like he was already a legend in the movie, even in the beginning. And then I seen The Godfather, and I'm like, I see now because you played Michael Corleone. Anyways, another famous person, Marlon Brando, he had already been doing movies for a while in the 50s and the 60s. So by the time he did this movie, he was already like Hollywood legendary, but nobody was really taking him seriously. He was difficult to work with. Anyways, let me give you some faces to work with because my mom and dad bought it a long time ago. And look at this. You can tell it's old. Like, who owns DVDs anymore? I love it though. I love it. I'm such a vintage person. That's Marlon Brando. He plays Don Vito Corleone. Now, some people always use the term Don before their name because, they want to be the Don. I'm the Don. I'm the Don. But are you really the Don? Do you really know? Do you really know? And yes, this is all movie based, but if you don't know about organized crime, get into it. It's a very political thing. I don't even know how to really go into it right now without going into it because, I don't try to make these too long. I know people don't really know how to sit down and listen for a little minute. But, it's okay. Vito Corleone. Then, that's Al Pacino, okay? Al Pacino plays Michael Corleone. Now, I believe this is Part 3 because he looked a little older. But this is when he was younger in Part 2. When he really became the Don. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to tell y'all too much about the movie without telling y'all because I want you to go watch it. You should go watch it. It's so good. And it teaches you a lot about keeping it in the family. Some people don't know how to not cross that barrier. But keep it in the family. Okay? Be a good godson. Be a good son. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I think what really amazed me about this movie, let's see. Honestly, it was the way that people would just cut, period. Curtains for your life, okay? You think you about to take this drive? this nice little hayride, little fields. Next thing you know, oh, let's stop. I gotta use the bathroom. Okay, I stopped the car. You get out, and now I'm murked. It happens like that. You got to be careful in these streets. All I'm saying is, every culture think they the baddest. Every culture think they the baddest. But when this movie came out, I believe that a lot of people, especially my black people, took it to the head. Yeah. Like, everybody thought they was the Don. Everybody wanted to be a part of the family, the mafia. It was, the book had already been a bestseller in 1969. It was written by Mario Puzo, and then the film came out, directed by Frank Coppola and Mario Puzo together. Now, if you want a better backstory on this, go to Paramount Plus. They have a series that just came out called The Offer, and it's about the making of The Godfather. Because when I was watching this movie, people, I'm like, ain't no way that the mafia was really cool with them making this movie. Like, no, you're really mimicking people's lives. It was a good mimic, though. That's a little picture of the family in the movie, you know what I'm saying? So got it's just so old school, so vintage, I love it. But yes, this was a American craze. Look at Robert De Niro, all young. Oh, I love him. I don't know why, but I just do. Cause you're not talking to me. Yeah, this was part 2. Now, he plays the younger Don. Let me show you again. Don Vito Corleone. All right, this is the present version. When you watch the movie, you finally watch it, because you're gonna watch it. You're gonna watch it. You're gonna tell me what you think about it. Now, in part 2, Robert De Niro plays the young Don Corleone before he became the Don, and you're gonna see why he became the Don. Oh, you gonna see? Yeah, you gonna learn. You gonna learn. This movie was so good. Like, I watched it late at night too with my cousin, eating cookies. You know what I'm saying? Film just going by, you know, we paying attention. And then when Skeezer started getting knocked off, oh yeah, rewind that. What happened? And it was crazy because real people were being portrayed. Like, even though the characters were non-fictional, oh no, you better believe Johnny Fontaine was really supposed to be representation of Frank Sinatra. People know that, but that was a serious thing. He didn't want that out. Oh no, you trying to say I'm affiliated? I'm not affiliated. I'm just this clean-cut American singer. Fly me to the moon. Oh no, you was caught red-handed, baby. You wasn't all that smooth. Yeah. This is the other picture. I just want to show y'all how cool this is that we still have this. Like, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna go for a lot of movies later on. Frank Coppola, director. It was crazy because in The Offer, it seemed like they didn't really want to give him a chance to direct the film, but he did such a great job. That's Fredo. That's his name in the movie, Fredo Corleone. He wasn't made for the life. Who we got? That is Michael Corleone, played by Al Pacino. You know, war veteran. Tried to make him seem like, you know, it's a clean cut boy. You know, he don't want no parts in life. But I feel like all along Michael was like, oh, I'm gonna be the Don one day. Watch this. I'm cracking up. Who else we got? Oh yeah, Frank Coppola again. Marlon Brando playing Don Vito Corleone. I know their faces kind of blurred out, you know. And then you got Sonny. Can't get close enough. Look at the glare. Just know Sonny was everybody's favorite, okay? Like my auntie told me, everybody either wanted to be Sonny or be with Sonny. Sonny was the hothead. He wasn't playing no games. And he loved doing like this. Like, I really feel like this is where black people got it from. Because when I'm serious, I need to do something right now. Pull out that trigger finger. Man, it took me a little while to get over some of the things in the movie because I'm just like, dang, man. I know these fictional characters, but it's how it really be back in the day. It probably still now, but you know, I don't know nobody. I don't know. All I'm saying is, this is one of the greatest films of all time. It is instantly a classic in my book of films that live rent-free in my head. And I thought that happened, I thought that stopped for me after a certain year because I'm like vintage queen. You know, anything before 2000, I love it. But this is before 2000. It came out in 1972, but I watched it later on in my life. So I'm like, do I even have the capacity to fit any other films in there? These movies today don't appease me, and all this other squickety squack. But guess what? I still had room for this in my heart. Because I felt it in my heart. And when you watch it, you gonna feel it in your heart too. Ain't no way you not gonna feel it in here. It is about the family. You know what I'm saying? Don Corleone. When I watched this movie, I couldn't stop saying Corleone for like a week. And it's just so fun to say Corleone. And set it off when Vivica Fox kept saying Clemenza. But when you watch the movie, you find out it's not Clemenza, it's just Clemenza. You get what I'm saying? It's just funny because I know fans that are watching this movie right now are just like, this girl that fell in love with this movie that is 50 years old this year. And I don't give a damn. Because guess what? I'm the Don. Let me start. I ain't no Don. I'm not the Don. What I'm saying is, you better give me the respect like I am. This is one of my favorite movies that I will be showing my children, that I will be showing their children's children. And when I'm going, you better show the children's children, because it's a lot of morals in this movie. And like I said, I think this changed Black culture for eternity. I mean, there are even rappers named after certain Italian mobsters. One of my favorite rappers, Donald Glover, his rap name is Childish Gambino. Best believe Gambino was not a Black person's name. Let's just be real. What else did I learn? Herb Gotti and Yo Gotti, that Gotti, not a Black person's name. And a lot of, I'm telling you, you gotta do your research. You gotta do your research. Because you never want to let somebody know how much you know or where you got your info from. But all I'm saying is, do your research. You know. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Thank you for buying this movie. It was like you were making me an offer that I couldn't refuse. All of the Godfather insiders. But yeah, this has been a sprinkle of risk. I'm so glad y'all tuned in today, and hopefully y'all go and watch this movie. I want my oral dissertations of movies to be longer for this, so I'm gonna find different apps that's gonna let me, show y'all little clips of what I'm talking about, because that's gonna be amazing. I want you to really get in the heart of these films that I'm gonna be sharing with you that have influenced me. So, and American pop culture, period, or world culture, so. Yeah, I just really want y'all to watch it. I hope this was persuasive enough to even get you interested. So that was a sprinkle of risk. And tomorrow is Salsa Saturday. And just to let you know, that don't mean I'm always going to be doing salsa. That just means I'm going to be dancing because I love to do it. And I know that my energy is contagious. So I hope you come back tomorrow. This has been another sprinkle of risk. And I will see you later because I'm going to make you an offer that you can't refuse. I'm working on it. I'm working on my accent. And my fake cigar smoke. Peace.